Composite decking is not cheap, and nothing hurts more than ruining a board or multiple boards with a bad cut. Here's exactly how to get a clean cut every single time. Hey, I'm Luan, founder of Deck Rose. We install hundreds of composite deck builds, and I can tell you, cutting composite is one of those things that looks simple until it isn't. The material reacts completely differently than wood. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to chip the caps, split the board, or melt the edges. Now you got a costly mistake sitting on the ground. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how we do it, what tool we use, and the mistake I see constantly on job site that are completely avoidable. Let's get into it. The blade conversation. This is one of the most important parts of this entire video. Buy the blade that is made for composite. Composite blades have a high tooth count. The 5-tooth geometry is what let the blade cut through the material cleanly and finishes up nicely without leaving a frayed or rough edge. You also need to think about blade separation. Have a blade for framing, have a blade for composite, have a blade for metal. If you cut that too, these are not interchangeable. Using the wrong blade for the material wear the teeth down fast and potentially ruin what you cut. Here's what I've learned from building thousands of decks. Always have a fresh set of blades on hand. A dull blade drags to the material instead of cutting it cleanly. The moment you see chipping or splitting or it just wouldn't cut cleanly, that is your blade telling you that it's done. Replace it immediately. Technique for a clean cut. Let me walk you through the two cuts that we make the most on the deck build and exactly how we approach each one. The first is the waterline cut, cutting all to final length at the edge of the deck. This is so we can put our picture frame in. Now here's the problem. You can snap a chalk line, but very few people can freehand that cut. That's why we use the Trex saw for this cut. The Trex saw has a guide rail. You set it, you lock it, all you do is guide the saw through. The Trex does the straight line work for you. The second cut type is those repetitive cost cuts, when you need to cut the same length over and over again. Say your board is 4 feet and you need to cut 30 of them at the exact same measurement. That's a chop saw job. Set your stop block 1. Every cut is identical, fast, accurate, no measuring between boards. Right tool for the right cut, that's the system. Tips that apply to any cut type. A few things I do before every first cut on a new board. First, I check the fit. Does this board actually go where I think it goes? Second, I measure the overhang. How much does it need to hang past frame? Is that consistent with the board next to it? Third, I measure again. Measure twice, cut one. That's not a saying, that's a rule. And the universal tip that applies to every cut type. If the cut feels hard, if the saw is working harder than it should be, check your blade. A sharp blade on the right material should move through cleanly. Resistance is always a signal. Don't ignore it. The honest take on tools. Here's what I actually believe about tools. The right tool can make an amateur cut like a seasoned professional. If you are just starting out, here is what I would invest in. A cordless tool system. Cordless circular saw, cordless chop saw, cordless track saw, cordless impact driver, and drill. Yes, that is a real investment. But here's the thinking behind it. When your tools are cordless, you bring the tool to the cut. You don't bring the cut to the tool. That changes your workflow completely. Faster, cleaner, more efficient on every job. And when you invest in a system with shared battery, everything works together. You're not carrying a generator. You're not running extension cord. Invest in these tools once and use them on every job after that. Here's what I want you to do today. Before your next project, go check your blade. Look at what it's rated for. Is it made for composite, framing, or metal? If you don't know, go to your local supplier and ask someone in the blade section. Tell them what you cut. They will point you to the right tooth count, the right blade for the right material. That single decision changes your result immediately. If this helped you, hit subscribe. We put out real content on real build with no gatekeeping. And if you want to see how composite insulation looks from start to finish, watch that video right here. We'll see you on the next one.